I got you here. What's up?
Yes! I'll call off that
Finally, what?
search party.
Oh, that was bad, that one.
I
Jesus
just swear,
Christ.
I was like, fuck! I was like, what am I going to do? And then I
I know,
saw
my bad.
Tyrone online. I was like, yes, Tyrone will do it.
Yes,
So that was
save me.
handy. Save me, yeah. It's all good though, it's all good.
100%. No, I had to put the baby to bed, so I just missed you by like 2 minutes, three
You're
minutes, and
off
then I
the
clicked
hook.
on and Taran was online. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. They ditched me.
I was actually a Fats. I was met because Fats messaged me earlier on. He's like, "Oh, I'll be tuned in for that now. That's a good interview." And I was like,
Yeah,
he was
hopefully.
like, the
Pat's just hoping that he gets a shout out.
and
Go on, the Pats. I hope he's not on yet, so he misses this.
I texted him. I was like, just send Jono a text there on regular text, will you, just to make sure he's all right. And then he was like, I
Yeah.
was like, who will I get? I was like, get Pierce O'Leary, get someone
Yeah, just get
else.
anyone, it doesn't
Anyone
even
else.
matter.
But listen, we have you.
100%.
We have you. Better late than never, as they say.
That's it.
How's
That's
things?
it. Great, everything's good. Really enjoying my time off. Obviously after the fight, we all got locked up in quarantine, so I'm just chilling. It's
Yeah. Are
grand.
you delighted that, like, I mean, a couple of weeks
Yeah.
earlier, it could have been a bit different story, right?
Oh man, imagine that. Like that would have been horrible because the fact that the fight got called off the first time.
Hmm.
If I had got called off for this blatant quarantine thing, man, I would have been retiring from boxing and going at a regular job. Fuck that.
I mean, we were just like all week, all I'm kind of talking about with everyone is like how hard it is for fighters. I mean, so obviously some fighters are lucky because, like yourself, they've just fought, or
Yeah,
they're kind of at a high level that missing out on a couple of weeks' pay is all right. But some guys are out there that have no security whatsoever, and
for sure, yeah.
I can't
A
rely
friend
on
of mine,
social, or I can't rely on
yeah,
anything. So it's tough.
100%. A friend of mine, Toka Khan, has a 2-year-old baby, house to look after, his missus in college, the whole lot. And he literally weighed in the day before, everything was all good, and the day of his fight, they called the fight off. Literally that day. Imagine that, like.
Ah.
Oh my God, weighing in is the hardest part. Like
Things, yeah, like
that's rough. Like,
seriously rough. Like whatever about being halfway through, or when you've not really done the hard cut or something. Do you know what I mean? But when
yeah,
it's on the day, that's so rough.
on the day, and that's rough. And he's a very, very good fighter. And he was saying to me, because me and him were over when we were sparring Tevin, and he was saying to me when we were over there, mate, I need to get a fight quick. Like I'm broke, man. I was like, yeah, it's fucking quick, fella, want to accept this fight or give me an update,
Yeah.
because at this stage he wasn't at the giving us an update on if he was definitely fighting or if he wasn't or whatever the case. So he was like, man, he probably gonna pull out of that fight, and I was like, you fucking better not be pulling out. I'll kill
What, like,
him.
I mean, because that's another area of like the job that is fucking mental when you think about it, where all of your work depends on this other opponent also doing the work and making it to the ring.
Yeah, for sure.
Like those
Yeah,
situations where there's pullouts or whatever about injuries and stuff, that's legit. But like, it must
yeah.
just be. Have you had many people pull out, like where you've been close or in camp, or where
Yeah,
something's.
I've had a few. I've had one the week before. So like you're basically on weight the week
Yeah.
before, you know what I mean? Where your weight is really good, you know, you have to sacrifice a lot. One the week before, um, another one 2 weeks before. I think Deco pulled out of the fight 2 weeks before I was meant to fight, and or 2 or 3 weeks, I'm not sure. He pulled out of the second time we were supposed to fight, um, and we got a replacement. But it was like literally, I had to continue training for the week. So I think it was 2 weeks before I had to continue training for the week, um, and focusing on weight,
Mm.
focusing on the whole lot. And basically, I just didn't have an opponent, so I was like, "Pfft, have they found anyone today?"
Mm.
I kept on the team. Anyone today? No, no, no. So it's really frustrating sometimes. And I was at that point in my career as well, whereas I was broke. I needed every fucking paycheck was a
Mm.
massive one. You know what I mean? Like, it was really like I was getting 80 quid out the dole or something. Like that's how bad it was. Like, but at this stage that I'm actually talking about, when Deco pulled out the second one, I was at the moving over to Spain at this stage, and then I went over to Scotland for a training camp, and the missus was over here. Um, she was pregnant, I think she was, and I had to go and leave. I had to leave, you know what I mean? And like, and you're just missing out on so many things that basically you can't get back. Yeah.
You missed like his birthday and all the food.
Oh no, yeah, no, sorry, I missed my baby's for the deco fight, the one when he pulled out. I missed my baby's first birthday party. Like you're never getting them opportunities to times back again, you know, that kind of way.
So how as a fighter,
birthday.
how do you justify that in your mind? I mean, whatever about your own mind, but also like I imagine having a partner that's like extremely understanding as well. Like you have to have you have to be with someone that has a certain understanding of what your sport is, what your job is, and what comes with the territory. But how do you justify it yourself? How do you stop the like guilt or you know whatever it is coming in?
You know, it's quite hard to even justify it for yourself, even though I know I'm doing it for them. I know I'm doing it to give them a better future and give us in general a better life, you know. And then I enjoy so many like perks of the job as well, you know what I mean? Like being able to drop her to school, pick her up from school, you know, like there's loads of things, whereas most people in a 9 to 5 job can't do that. So I'm very blessed in one way, but then in another way, that's kind of how I justify it to myself. It's like I make up for it by being there most days 24/7. Like I'm nearly there all the time with my baby. There's very rare moments, like I don't go away for camp. I stay at home all the time. Maybe I'll go away like for the last week or something like that, but that's okay. I don't mind justifying it, like, but for if it's a 1 week or 2 weeks. But I remember coming back after that deco thing. The fella who they got to replace, I stopped him in 3 rounds or something like that. But after the fight, I remember I was so like depressed, even though I got paid the same as what was getting paid for the deco fight. So it didn't really make a difference whether it was deco or not. But it wasn't the fighter, you know. So I was pretty depressed after that fight. I was having the fight, and my head was wrecked. And I was saying to Gemma, I was like, I want to be in Scotland for like so long. All I want to do was come back and see you and spend time with you. And now that I'm here, it's like I know I should be just happy and content, but I just didn't feel happy or content. You know what I mean? I just felt like I was in a rut. I was in like a bit of a dark hole, and I actually cried. I was just sitting there, and I was like, I felt so shit myself. Like as I was explaining this to the missus, I was just burst out, started crying. I was like just so emotional. I think it was because of the whole fight situation. Then the fight pulling out was not the fight that I wanted it to be. And then the fight was over in just 3 rounds. So I was like, I'm not doing all this hard work for what, 3 rounds? Like, you know, like, so there was loads of things. And to be honest, I don't really forgive myself for missing our first birthday. I don't think I ever will. Like, but at the same time, I know I've done it for them. My partner is very understanding and stuff like that. She gets it. Like, she knows the job. She fucking worked 2 jobs at stages when at the very start when I could only start to work, you know what I mean? So, I was getting paid $1,000, $2,000 a fight and stuff. So she needed to be working for us both to support us both. So,
do you know there is an argument as well, because it's the conversation about like guilt, and because there's so many fighters that are in not just boxing but in combat sports in general that have young kids, and something that they always kind of speak about or bring up is like the sort of the guilt of missing time at home and how hard it is for them, especially when they're cutting weight and they're cranky in different bits, and you know, and you really do need to have somebody at home that's understanding, especially when there's young kids involved. But I've always said to them that, you know, isn't it better to grow up in a house where your dad is away following his dream, or you know, going after his passion, or being goal focused, than to have someone that hasn't done anything with their life? Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, you could play that card all right, but at the same time, it's like it's one of them things. Like I just want to be there.
Yeah.
It's not about my goal or my life or my. That's a selfish way of kind of looking at it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't be wrong. I'm happy. The missus looking at me like you should be alright with that. Fuck you. But you know, like for me, it's like the reason I wanted to be a boxer in the first place was to be around the baby, be around my kids, and be around my family, and not have to work in 9 to 5. I used to say all the time, I just cannot see myself. This is when I was in school. Like I could never ever see myself working in 9 to 5. I just couldn't ever. You know, so it was either like boxing or it was going to be some sort of business that I had to run I had to do something myself, you know. I had to be a fucking boss, man. There's no chance in a million years that I could work for someone else, and I just couldn't. Don't be wrong, I'm good at taking orders. I'm good at like.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
All right, the boss was spoken. No, I need to be a boss. Simple as that.
Yeah. Is that what it was? It was like you need to just be in control of your week or your day, or just you just have a need to do your own thing, I suppose. Is that kind of where it was coming from?
I have a need to do my own thing, most definitely. But I swear at the same time, I like if I'm doing all the hard work, I like all the praise.
Yeah.
Fucking right. Like. That's why I couldn't stand football and all, because like when you fucking lose and you're like, lads, I'm fucking training my arse off here, and you were drinking yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not good enough. Like, so I just couldn't I couldn't stand that whole like football scene, you know, like with the lads and stuff like that. Like I need to be taking responsibility for my actions. You know what I mean? So and it's the same with like work, like you get out what you put in, and I put a lot in. Like I work my ass off, you know. So for me it's like, sure, I want all the praise.
So for you then, when you made the decision to have boxing as a career, was your choice, I'm going to be a boxer, I'm going to be a professional, I'm going to make this work? Or was it something that happened more naturally where you kind of fell into just competing and then it just spiraled from there?
Yeah, I never even, it wasn't like, oh, I want to be a boxer or that. And boxing, I just kind of picked it up and I was good at it. It just kind of flowed. I was kind of decent at it, you know. I just boxed. Like I only started boxing when I was 15, and then like I won in All Ireland at like 16. You know, so it was like, and at that age in Ireland, like to be winning in All Ireland, it's quite hard. Like if some fella told me now he was 15, he's only starting the box, do you reckon I can win in All Ireland next year? I'd be like, forget about it, mate. Yeah, fucking, you were laughed at. Like,
you just crushed some kid's dreams now. He's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, but I done that. So I'm proof that can happen if you actually wanted that much, that you can. But like nobody's seen it. I was the one getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning jogging before school, and then I was training at like 7 o'clock every night. You know, like so. Most amateurs at 16 aren't getting up before school jogging. You know, and my dad was waking me up at 15. Like the first year boxing, I was getting up, jogging, like it was pitch black outside, freezing cold. Obviously, it's Ireland, you know what I mean? Yeah. But we got up, we put the work in, and I won my All Irelands in my second year boxing. I won 2 All Irelands then as an amateur. So like, it was more like, oh, I'm just good at this kind of, and then I stopped boxing. I started smoking loads of weed because then I was taking like my talent and skill for granted. Then I started smoking weed and I was like, that was fucking easy. Like I had to beat them my second year of boxing. I just keep trying and getting better anyway. So I just keep trying and I just keep beating people, you know what I mean? So then it's a different story when you go to the world championships and stuff like that and you get battered.
But that is an interesting point, like, and it's a valuable point as well, because like obviously weed is such a massive factor in a lot of athletes because they kind of balance it out with, oh, well, I don't drink, so I'm just going to smoke a load of joints and I'll be grand. And it's like, I don't know if you can actually, like, whether it's alcohol or any sort of drug, I don't know if you can be a high level athlete and get away with doing that.
No, most definitely can't. I think the only way you could possibly, if you were going to do it like that, it would be like eat it or something. Because smoking weed is not bad. People are always like, or the oil, you know, like obviously drops and stuff like that is not too bad either. Because there's so many health benefits to the cannabis plant in general is incredible. You know what I mean? So
it can kill motivation.
It can kill motivation. That's what I will say. It can definitely kill motivation because not hard to make weight now. Nah, you don't eat. People, who thinking she's a boxer? Doesn't got a bleeding clue.
I know what she means. Okay.
Yeah, no, eating. She's talking about getting. Yeah, she's talking about getting munchies there. It's not like that at all. No, you couldn't get the munchies if you're in camp. That's true, but you don't get the munchies when you're really stoned all the time anyway. Yeah. Like when you're used to it, you don't. That's like you get the munchies first time you ever smoke weed type of shit. No, weed is actually a big fat burner, I think, as well, because every time I smoked weed, I was always skinny. I actually went from 60 kilo to 57 kilo as an amateur when I started smoking weed.
No way.
Yeah, because I lost my appetite loads and I didn't want to be eating when I wake up in the morning. My stomach was stoned over. My stomach was always boning me from all the shit I was probably eating the night before, you know what I mean?
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, but there was never good food, like, so I was never put on weight. But anyway, I think we got off track there.
Yeah. Swerve this
I
one.
don't even know how we got
Swerve
onto
this
this.
before
But yeah,
we're hung out to dry.
but no, what I was gonna say is like you can't to be a performance athlete, you can't take weed, you can't drink alcohol, you can't do anything. You need to be a clean athlete. If you're gonna compete at the highest level, you need to compete. You need to work your ass off, number one. And number two is you need to like know your nutrition because food is fuel. That's where your energy comes from. If you no energy, then forget about boxing or any other sport for that. So like, well, I would say to all the young fellas growing up and like thinking that you can just wing it. It's just because you're doing 3 3s right now. It's if you're gonna be a professional boxer, you need to. This is like setting the foundations. You know what I mean? You need to have a strong foundation. I messed up as an amateur, and I'm kind of half happy I did mess up as an amateur because now I don't mess up as a pro. Now I'm so dedicated and so focused as a professional that it probably worked out in the as it like worked out good for me, I suppose. You know what I mean? Even though like I didn't have a great successfully amateur career, but at the same time, like, don't really care. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a good professional boxer, and all I ever wanted to be was a professional boxer. I never wanted the amateur game, so it didn't really matter to me, you know that way. But yeah, there's no shortcuts to the top. Trust me. I may have done it when I was a kid, but Jesus Christ, was it hard? And that's why loads of people always say, "How do you think you're such a good engine?" And I genuinely think I'm such a good engine because I went through so many years of like having to push myself mentally through the pain barriers because I was always like not fit because I was always smoking. Like I used to be smoking on the way to the bleeding gym, like, and I'd be going to the gym. You know what I mean? Like so. Oh man, it was mad times, but it was like it was crazy, but it was good. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't change the past for anything because that'll lead me, I suppose, to this destination where I am.
Well,
right now,
that was
so.
one of the questions that I was going to ask you. Is that if you got an opportunity, if someone says you can go back and rewrite your history up until this date, you'll still land in the same spot as you are now, but would you change anything along the way?
I don't know. I don't like to change that because I believe like things happen for a reason. We're all on a road, and sometimes I'm half like, did we even make that decision? Because subconsciously you make so many decisions every single day that you don't even realize what decisions you to be doing anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of things I take as like, well, I was raised like this, so this is probably why my actions was like this. You know what I mean? So listen, it is what it is. I'm here now, so that's all that matters.
Well, in interesting when
I love doing all right.
Well, when you bring in the word subconscious there, it's very interesting because one of the kind of standout things that has always stood out to me about you is your mental strength transcends into like the media work that you do in the lead up to fights, and it's sort of like infectious, even like to your last fight with Quigg, you know what I mean, I'm going to knock him out, you know what I mean, the confidence that's there, and it's sort of like a knowing confidence as opposed to a sort of an ignorant confidence. Does that make sense?
It's a very fun, and you're literally like balancing that shit on a razor blade. That's what that is like. Because I'm not like an arrogant person, but I am very confident.
Yeah.
And I'm only so confident because I put in the work, that kind of way. So because I put in all the work and the sacrifices, that's what makes me so confident because I know, well, listen, I'm at the doing every single thing that was asked of me and more. So I should be at the pinnacle of this sport. I should be beating these type of people. And then when I say like, I'm going to knock out like Scott Quigg, people laughed at me, and I was like, right, you're going to see now, you bastards, because he's laughing. Now I'm going to make me point. I'm going to just keep on here. And I wasn't even on him all night. I let him come to me a lot. Whereas I could have closed that show earlier. But I said in the build-up as well, I said, what I'd really like is a nice long fight and something to show me skills, and then stop Scott Quigg later on.
Yeah.
And people laughed at me, and everyone laughed at me when I said Scott Quigg, and I was like, what are you motherfuckers laughing at? You know what I mean? I know I'm not a big puncher, but if I want to stop someone, if I set my mind to it, then I will. Like, and all these people, then because they all like were slating me and laughing at me, I was like, right now I am going to stop that bastard. And then I put it up on Twitter. what was it? I was like, mark my words, I'm gonna stop Scott Quigg. And then I deleted my Twitter app off my fucking phone because I knew they were all gonna start slagging me, blowing up. Now I can't fucking log back into my Twitter to slag all the people back.
And
Snapping.
that's the last tweet that's on your profile, because I went in to have a look at it earlier on.
Yeah.
I was like, that's really good. Yeah, because that's why I was going to ask you about it. And like,
Yeah, snapping now. I can't get back onto. I will get back onto it sooner or later. I'm doing to slag people. Like I'm doing to say,
hashtag I'm back. Hashtag I'm back in.
Hashtag yeah, I'm back. Hashtag the king says the king.
But listen, is there ever a moment like after that? We'll say, for example, with the Quigg fight, do you ever have a quiet moment to yourself where you go, "Fuck, I actually done it there"?
Yeah, all the time.
Explain that.
All the time. Because the thing is, right, so I'm very much mad into my law of attraction, right?
Yes.
But I don't get all the ins and outs on how it works.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, right, it works. It definitely works. I'm not questioning that it works. So let's just fucking speak it here and let's see does it come true. So I'm still in my figuring shit out stage. You know what I mean? I'm still speaking shit a lot, and a lot of it came true. So
and where did your interest in the law of attraction come into play? Like, did you read a book? You know, did someone hand you The Secret? Like, what was it? Because arguably visualization and fighting kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. It does go hand in hand a lot. I was doing a lot of it subconsciously. Mm-hmm. When I met my missus the first time, I was in a sling. I was tearing ligaments in my elbow. It was my first year of boxing. I was only like 15, and I seen the missus. I met her for the first time, like, and she was like, "What happened to your arm?" Blah blah blah. And I was telling her, "Oh, I'm a boxer. I'm gonna be a professional boxer. I'm gonna be world champion one day." And she laughed at me, and she hit me in the arm. I was like, "Shut up, no, you're not." I was like, "What the fuck? What do you mean? No, I'm like, yeah, I am, you mad dude. I just told you I'm going to be. You'll see. And all the lads were like laughing because they knew I'm a boxer, but they knew I could talk shit. So I was really just like talking shit, really, trying to chat her up. And yeah, I got in there, you know what I mean? I was like, no, I always bring it back up to her and say to her now, I'm like, remember that day I told you I was going to be a world champion? You laughed at me. I'm going to be a professional boxer because I didn't even say a world champion. I just said a professional boxer. I'll be a professional boxer one day. And she laughed at me because at this time, like, remember, this is when I was 15. We didn't have many, like, even professionals at that stage. We probably had 1 or 2 professionals in Ireland. So it wasn't a known thing. And I spoke it then, and I was always saying, I don't even want to live in Ireland. Like, I want to live in a hot country and that. And then I just, like, fucked off the blade in Australia. You know, like, I spent my time out over there. Then the minute I got home, I was speaking a lot of things. And everything that I was saying, I genuinely, like, it just happens for me. So it's like, either I'm a lucky motherfucker, I have someone looking over me.
Would you mind saying that I win the lotto next month, would you?
Listen, I hope you win the lotto next month. You might be fucking give me half of it.
Yeah, give me a cut, don't worry about it.
Yeah. I just want 10%. I don't even want half. I don't want to be hungry. Just give me 10%.
No worries, there's a deal. But listen, like, obviously, you know, going to Australia, coming back, you've had sort of like an interesting journey. You've done it a little bit different to most people where they just kind of stay, you know, close to home and they just kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Do you think that the choices to go to Australia and to start out there, like, that kind of helped you in sort of like the development of your career, or, you know, what were the kind of main learning curves that you learned from being over there and starting out over there?
Well, see, the thing is, I moved out of my house at 15. So I moved, 15, I was nearly 16. So I didn't really have that tying me to Ireland. Like, I lost my mother when I was 15.
Oh,
so I never really had that tying me to Ireland. So I was like, fuck that, like, just get out of here. So I didn't go to Australia to box around. I went to Australia just to get away from all the group of lads I was hanging around with and all. Everyone was just smoking weed and we were drinking and we were fighting every weekend. Not just all the stupid bleeding normal shit that everyone else will be doing every other bleeding weekend. They're still doing the same shit, you know what I mean? So I was like, get me out of here, this is not the life for me, you know what I mean? I'm bad at this, like. So that's where I was like, I just boom, went to Australia. I was speaking to a woman on Monday who was in Australia. She was over there on holidays with her brother, And I was saying, oh, I'd love to go over there, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, why don't you come over? She's a family friend. She's like, why don't you come over? My brother's, I'm sitting beside him here. He said he'd get you a job. Blah, blah, blah. To cut a very long story short, she booked me the ticket. So it was like, say, Monday, she booked me the ticket to go out Friday. So I had to literally, in like the space of 4 or 5 days, I had to pack all my shit and I just left. And I only bought a one-way flight, so it was like, boom, like, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I had no plans on coming home. And I just left, and then I just got bored over there. So that's why I went back to the boxing.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, I just fell into the boxing. So I stopped boxing for like a year and a half before I went to Australia. And then I started boxing just because I got bored and I had no mates over there. So I was like, I'll just go to the gym. Usually you get mates in the gym, you know what I mean? It's like the good mates, the good mates are usually the ones in the gym, the healthy ones. Yeah, the ones I can actually be around and not fucking have to avoid. So yeah, then I literally just started boxing over there, and yeah, I just went pro. I had one amateur bout, and then I went pro, and I had 2 fights in 2 years. Then I came home for Deco, got on the prize for it, and boom, it just snowballed.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me it was like, it's mad. Like when I sit back now, it's like what you were saying earlier, where they get the law of attraction from. I kind of just like subconsciously done it, but then when I started actually with MDK, I was speaking to one of the managers here in MDK, and he's a mad believer in the law of attraction. So he was getting me on it loads. So I was like, Daddy, this is all right, this stuff. I was like, send me a few names and like you know, people to look up.
Yeah.
So I'm very much like, I will take anything on board. My dad used to say when I was a kid, he said, listen, if someone has a bit of knowledge, like take the knowledge on board, like, or learn from their mistakes or whatever it may be. And if someone talks rubbish, just blanket, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you might get 1% of that rubbish might be actually truth and it might work for you. So you can always use stuff to your advantage. So I was like, all right, grand. So I was very open-minded. So this fella put me on to Bob Proctor. Anyway, so I was on Bob for about a year. It was.
Yeah,
and this is when I was in.
Bob Proctor's old school.
Old school. Yeah, Bob was old school. I like Bob. So then it was like, it was from Bob then to The Secret. Then I read The Secret. I read that then twice. And then I got on to a few different books then. I'm reading one now at the minute, and it's just called Win. And it's just like a maze, but it's just like winning in life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Strength coaches. And then I got to a few, and then I've just been reading like fucking Earl Nightingale and all these people. I'm just like mad filling my brain with just all this knowledge, and I was like, fuck me, man.
Yeah.
I've never read a book. I never ever read a book before coming and joining my MDK.
No.
And now that I've been with MDK, I've met reading loads of books. Yeah, it's mental.
That's what I tell
time,
you. It should be an MTK book club every month. Drop your favorite novels.
Fucking 100%, 100% is mad. But I know loads, and I know loads of lads who has been, because this fella is mad into his law of attraction, and loads of lads like Charlie Edson, I'm like, he definitely had a talk with him. He definitely had because loads of lads definitely had, just loads of that are like on The Secret and on the law of attraction, you know what I mean? And
rumor has it you get a little bumper pack when you start. when you sign your MTK contract, you get a copy of The Secret.
Yeah, copy. Yeah, Bob Proctor should come over and do a little deal with us. I swear to God, it's a good show.
Absolutely. But, well, here's one for you.
Yeah.
Here's one for you then, right? Because like, there's been a few different things. You know, you say that your mum died quite young. There could have been an opportunity for you to go off the rails there, like we see it happen so many times with young kids who lose parents. You stopped your boxing for a year and a half, then you went to Australia, and then you naturally fell back into it. So my question to you on it is, would you believe that your purpose in life was to be here to be a boxer?
I don't believe that my purpose in life is to be here to be a boxer, but I do believe that my purpose in life is to be a boxer at a stage of my life, so it gives me a profile to then help other people.
Very interesting.
I don't necessarily think boxing, I'm not be all and end all of boxing. My personality is way bigger than just boxing, you know. So what I love about the sport is the fact that it's given me that profile to be able to help kids, or I've helped so many people in this blade, and on even just through Instagram. You know, so many people text me and blah blah and give me my own. Because I lost my mother, I smoked weed. I was smoking weed throughout boxing, and then I got off it from me boxing. So I was able to help people, obviously, who lost parents. I can connect with them that way. My dad played, he started drinking mad heavily when my ma passed away. So I can relate, obviously, to people with alcoholic parents, and I can relate to people who are on drugs, so done enough drugs in my own day, you know what I mean? Like it's just like I'm just a normal fella, like a average person, but yet I can box.
Yeah.
It's mad, like, I used to get in trouble for fucking fighting all the time, and now I get paid for it. It's great.
But you know that,
and then people are like,
that's why
you're the fucking,
go on.
you're someone to look up to and all this. And I'm like, psh,
well, this is the thing, and like for so many, like we'll say with work stuff, if I'm in an environment where it's sort of like mainstream media and they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, it's Fight Connect TV and it's this, and they don't understand the impact that martial artists, that fighters can have on communities, not only professional fighters, but those that are like, the local guys that are running the club with 20, 30 kids in it. How impactful that can be when, forming them into like fully functional adults.
Yeah, for sure. Sure, even my dad now, like my dad went off the rails when my mom passed away. He went proper drinking hard. Like that's why I had to move out of my house now. But he turned his life around as well now, loads, because he is then taking up coaching. And because he was coaching me, so my boxing gym only opened twice a week. Not having boxing club only open twice a week. And even though I didn't speak to my dad for years and had more to him on that, I used to go down and train with him all the time because he's fucking deadly trainer. So my nanny used to be like, I know you're not fighting with your dad, this, that, and the other, and you're not talking to your dad, but listen, from 7 o'clock and you just do the work till 9 o'clock, you don't have to speak to him. I was like, all right, grand, no problem. So we end up actually setting up our own bleeding gym, or up with our own St. Shocknell's boxing club. It was in the Shocknell, and it was in a community centre, but we used to have to set our bags up out the back and then put the bags back away after ourselves.
Nightmare.
And I'm not messing, like, it was a nightmare, right? But at the start, I used to put the bags up, help them do everything. Now, me and my dad wouldn't even be speaking, like fighting like cats and dogs, like wouldn't be speaking at all. For months, like, this is going on for ages. And I'd go to the gym, no one in the club would even realise that we weren't speaking. Because he'd be like, John, will you get me this, get me that? Yeah, no, brother. Doing pads with him. Do this now, John, do this, do this. No problem. I used to do everything he'd tell me to do. And then, the minute go 9 o'clock, like literally, I mean, like it was 5 to 9, I'd be like, all ears, yeah, whatever you want me to do, no problem. And the minute it hit 9 o'clock, I'd be like, right, I'm out here, just walk.
No
you can call
way.
me name, like, just keep walking. Yeah. A little rude bastard it was.
Like, that's a wild story, right? Like, I mean, that's like, that's mad. And like, what happened then? Like, in repairing the relationship, like, did you need to separate in that time for everyone to kind of go on their own journey for a while and then come back together and repair it, I suppose? Yeah. Our relationship is still a little bit mad, because even though we love the bones of each other and all that, and obviously we're father and son, so, like, love, you have to love them no matter what, like, but I moved out and then I was training with him and doing all that with him, but it's weird, like, I then went to Australia, so when I went to Australia, I only spoke to him, like, 2 times in 2 years when I went to Australia. Wow.
And remember, I had 2 professional fights when I was in Australia. So one time I didn't even talk to him after a fight, and he's obsessed with boxing. So like I feel like he was always kind of living his dreams through me, if you get me. And then it took me to go to Australia to realise, oh no, actually, I kind of like this as well. Like, because at that stage when I was in Ireland, I was like, I felt like I was half just doing it for him, if you get me.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of boxers out there and kids and sons and daughters and everything that feel the exact same way. Yeah. But unfortunately, he gave me that talent, and now fortunately for me, I'm fucking doing all right with it. You know what I mean? I'm just running with it, so I'm doing all right. But he found his passion and goal as well, which is training people, and he loves that. Like, he's one of the best bleeding coaches in Ireland, I swear to God. And he's so many other kids that I remember training, like Davey Oliver Joyce, for an example. He was training with us, I think, when he was 6 or 7. He's only a kid, like literally a kid. When we first, like our first year opening that on Shocknell's, St. Shocknell's boxing club was called. When we first opened that, he was like one of the first kids that was there. He was only like literally, he was too young. My dad said, nah, he's too young to train, but he can come because his brothers were training. So he said he can come anyway and he can train, but he can't fight. And you were like, all right, no problem. So my dad has him, and look at where he's at. You know what I mean? He's a great little fighter. So it's given my dad like a massive, I don't know, focus, I suppose, on life. You know what I mean?
100%.
So boxing, it's one of them sports that like I don't think it's for everyone, but for certain people, some people need it in their life. Like Tyson Fury needs it in his life. Like certain people need boxing. You know, it just calms them. It's their medicine, I suppose. And for me, I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for boxing, because I was always a messer. I was always like getting in trouble and just always acting the bollocks. You know what I mean? Like I loved being that funny person, and it was just not good. You know what I mean? Not good when you're a teenager growing up. You know, so I could have got myself into a lot of trouble.
I believe you.
When I start, when I start getting myself like props for the boxing, when people were start saying, "Oh, fair play to you," and people were like commenting like on my success rather than my failures, that drove me on massively. You know, like because even in the school, they done on the little the monitor. They announced it to everyone. I could hear like next door clapping and all, like you know, the whole school clapping, and I remember thinking, "Whoa, that's mad! Like that's crazy." They even invented a bleeding award for me when I was finished school. The school didn't even box, like, but they gave me a little boxing award for the school. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even box for the school, but like it was just because boxing changed me completely. Because I was a little terror before boxing, and then once I boxed, I was good, you know what I mean? Like, not that I was good, but I was still always messing. Like, definitely always messing. But it was like I was just well more behaved, you know what I mean? Because I was tired, I suppose, all the time as well, because I was always training. You know, I had a goal.
You wore out. And do you know what? That's such an important, what you just said there is so key, because like I think when kids or teens go off the rails in some way, like sometimes they're just kind of discarded, where like no one sees the good in them. But I always think like there's potential in everyone, you know what I mean? Everyone has the opportunity to turn around, to change their circumstances, and to achieve stuff. So positive reinforcements, that's the key.
100%, 100%, and not believing what anyone else is telling you, you know, and not letting someone else put their limitations on you. I hate that.
Yeah,
that's one of the biggest things that annoys me about people. People are always like, you can't do that. No, maybe you can't do that. Don't fucking tell me what I can and can't do. You know what I mean? Like, don't be putting your limitations on me.
Yeah.
Like, if that was another thing that, like, I don't want to like slate my dad here. I love the balance of him. Like, but that was another thing that my dad, when he tell me something, like, I believe it, because obviously he's your dad.
Yeah.
So if he's saying like, "Oh, that's a hard fight for you, son," I didn't hear that's a hard fight for you, son. I just heard that my dad doesn't believe that I can win that fight.
Yes! Oh my God, that's
so
fucking good. That's actually, yes. That is brilliant. Yes.
So for me, like when he says something like that, and your dad's saying that's a hard fight, that means like that's just a nice way of saying you're getting fucked here.
Yes,
you know
that is basically. So. You know what? I relate to that so much, because my ma is like that with me. She worries so much that like I've taken like a fucking deposit on my house to build Fight Connect TV and say, fuck the house will come when this all pays off down the line, right?
Good woman,
and she's
100%.
like, well, what if it doesn't? And what will you do? You're like, you need to be sensible. And I don't hear you need to be sensible. I hear you're not gonna succeed.
Yeah, you're not gonna accomplish
it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, see, they don't understand that, but for them it's because they worry about you.
Absolutely.
Them it's because they care. And I get that. Being a parent and shit like that, I get that. But for me, I just think that's one thing that I want to, I'll at least try with my own baby, is like, just let her do whatever she wants. Put her into as many things she wants to do. And never like, see, that's all these self-help type of books. Because I have this profile with the boxing and all that now, because it makes me more want to be someone that other people can look up to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So someone that, like, you're not ashamed that your kid is looking up to that person. You know what I mean? You're not like, he's a little bastard, he's this. Yeah, of course, a little bit. That's the only thing I do. Like, you know, but that's like, even that is not bad. You know what I mean? Because I know sometimes my nanny just be watching and she kills me every time I be cursing. So sometimes I'm really good with my cursing, but other times I'm not. But what I'm trying to do is better myself all the time.
Yes.
And I just find that, like, if I have like the likes of my dad around me, I don't feel like he's trying to better me, because he's so worried about my failure. that it actually stops me from accomplishing something.
Yes.
Because it puts doubt and fear into your head. And when you have doubt and fear into your head, it's like, it's not a good mentality to be kind of having and walking around with, you know, that kind of way. So for me, that's where I have kind of like being in Spain as well and being away from everybody. Because there's no influences on me. There's nobody saying, oh, you think this is going to be hard? Or do you think that is? Because everyone around me here in Spain all know what's up. And you understand that at this stage, you know what I mean? So I can choose who to spend my time with here. But whereas at home, it's like you have your sister and your nanny and your whatever coming in and say, oh, I'm so nervous for your fucking fight next week. And then all of a sudden you're like, you're making way through, you have to be blank and thinking about even the fight at all, and then all of a sudden you have butterflies and you're nervous and you're like, oh shit, yeah, fight next week.
And not even the words, the actual physical energy of people people in your room, in your energy field with a nervous energy or a negative energy, like attacking you. So you don't even know they are, and they're tearing your energies in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
like, and that energy, like, I felt it. So another one just on my dad, just he's obviously just getting used to me example because my man's not here.
Your dad's getting torn now, baby.
Sorry, Dad.
This is like an episode of Dr. Phil, never mind.
fuck that. Oh, stuff. But yeah, my dad, for an example, where he came to see me just before me fight with Scott Quigg. And in the hotel and that, and like, I'm so calm, relaxed, like going for naps and all the day, you know, like proper calm. Like, he came and went for the last field with us, and he was grand and relaxed, but I could feel his energy. Like, I could feel it. He never needed to tell me anything that he was nervous or that he was red, but I could feel his energy, and the whole vibe of myself and all the team, everything changed. All of our energies changed because of his energy that was in the room, and it wasn't that. No one even spoke about the energy that was in the room. But I know every single person could feel that it shifted. You know what I mean? And because mine and his is a father-son relationship, and everyone knows that we're very, like, we're similar, you know what I mean? Like, we can clash real quick. So it's like, you have to be really on eggshells around both of us on a normal day.
I hear you.
Not around, no, sorry, not around, you never ever have to be on eggshells around me because I never freak about anything. But when you're like fight day, like, just don't be annoying me, you know what I mean? Like, so be on eggshells then. But usually you have to be on eggshells around me dad for everything. So it was like fucking, it was just one of them. I could feel it, but he was real nice, he was real calm, but I could sense that he was so nervous for me. And it's just being a parent. And afterwards he said it to me, I was fucking shitting it. Man, Scott Quigg's good, blah, blah, blah. Like, we watched them together loads of times. I was like, I know. Like, but, yeah, like, I don't know, that shit annoys me when parents tell their kids, don't do this and don't do that. I get that a lot. People text me and saying, my mom said I shouldn't box because she wants me to go to college and do this. And I always just say, well, all right, well, fair play to your mom because she's at the fucking putting you through school and all this. Like, but are you living under our house? And they're like, yeah. Is she paying for your college? Yeah. Well, then, do what the fuck she wants you to do. If you want to go out and live in your own too and fucking work and, like, you know, pay for your own food and all, then you do whatever makes you happy. So if you want to go get a job and you want to go live in your own, then tell him what the fuck off. Go box and do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? But that's just the way it is.
But
like,
I hear you on that. You need to have the emotional maturity to recognize your own dreams. Isn't that kind of what it is?
Yeah. Well, it's your own dreams. It's like you're living your life. You're not living your man's life, your fucking dad's life. So who are they to tell you what to do? Like, for me, what does it matter to them? Because technology was different in their day. Fucking everything was different. Like, my dad's like, you shouldn't live at home with your wife. Like, you're meant to go away into camp to box. And you're like, yeah, because, like, I have social media these days. I just text someone on fucking Instagram and he'll come and spar me bleeding in 3 days. You know what I mean? You need to fly out to people to go sparring and all that, like, back in the day. These days you don't. Like, it's grand. I can put people up here. I can do whatever. Like, so like, it's just different these days. Like, the whole world is different. Technology, cars, every bleeding else, everything. When my parents was growing up, schooling was different.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? They can't tell me that, your school is teaching you wrong there or something. Like, who the fuck was your teacher and what were they teaching you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like...
And their life is a paradox. And it goes in cycles. And it never ends.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It never ends.
Yeah. But at the same time, they wouldn't be able for our life, like the way everything is with social media and all that. Like my dad thinks you should be off social media. Now, I'm a bit of a believer you shouldn't be on it, say 2 days out or 3 days out, you know, like. But like a week before, like, come on, you don't need to be off a week before. Like, it's not gonna matter a week before, you know, like, and this bleeding no sex for 2 weeks and all. Like, fuck off. Like, there's science that proves that all this shit is wrong. Like, just because you got told it growing up doesn't mean it was the truth.
The local priest. Yeah, if you
yeah, the local priest giving you bleeding advice on your relationship, on your marriage. You're like, mate, you've never even fucking got married before.
Exactly.
Let me tell you about my wife.
But listen, to wrap it up, so I've taken up too much of your time already. Final question. Are you where you wanted to be? Are you where you thought you would be right now?
In boxing, like
in life, when you looked at, like, we'll say 10 years ago, when you thought about where I'm going to be in 10 years' time, has it lived up to your reality now?
Where was I 10 years ago? 18. Listen, if I could tell you stories when I was 18, I'm way better than what I thought I was going to do when I was 18. So I'll make it a long enough one because that one can't be answered too quick. I'm sorry. Me at 18 was running amok, like, bleeding. Like, well, I'm not going to get into it too much, but I had to do a lot of stupid shit, you know what I mean? Just to even put food in me bleeding mouth, you know what I mean? So for me to be able to be a professional boxer at the Boyne House, fighting for a world title, be fucking at 27 in America, you know what I mean? Like, topping the bills in America, having Kate Taylor in the undercard. Fucking alright. I'm doing alright. So I'm happy with that. But, like, you know what? I'm at to been on so many big fights, big cards. I've had an amazing career. I'm enjoying my career, and I only feel like it's still the start of my career. You know what I mean? If you get that, because I feel like I'm only getting momentum the past, say, 2-3 years. So I never had momentum at the start of my career, and because I started boxing quite late, I feel like I'm just learning a lot now. So I think in the next 2 years I'll be a world champion. And I'll be happy then, maybe. We'll see.
I'm sure the goalpost will move as soon as that does happen. There'll be something else coming.
100%.
But that's it. 100%. That's what has to be done, isn't it? You have to keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, even now, I'm in the middle. I have a CBD company going now at the minute. Re-up. I had the boxing glove company, but I wasn't putting enough time and effort into that. Yeah. So I was doing King Custom boxing gloves. I might actually start doing it again because a few people have been asking me to do them because the gloves were good. Like, but I had like customized gloves, and I had a CBD company going. So from when I'm all said and done with boxing, I'm gonna have a few businesses going, you know, and that'll be sweet. Have a couple of properties as well. Rent them out.
Listen.
Yeah. I'll be alright.
You'll be alright.
The needle always moves. Yeah, 100%. All this law of attraction.
I love that expression. The needle always moves. I love it.
Yeah,
let me just
100%.
check it, because I think a couple of people sent in questions. Let me see if I can get them up.
Yeah, go on and answer if you have no problem.
There's a bit, they can be a little bit, I'd be nervous reading them out because they'd be a bit mad. Right, there's one here from Gaz. Would Jono ever like to fight at the Tree Arena in Dublin in future?
Of course I would, yeah, 100%, my man. I fought in the Dublin arena, in the Tree Arena, when I fought Deco the first time. So I only ever fought in the Tree Arena one time. I only ever fought in Ireland, in Dublin, one time my whole career.
No way.
How brutal is that? Mad, that, you know?
It's shocking, isn't it?
But yeah, it's shocking as well. But I'd love to fight back home again for sure someday. But sure, we'll see. Who knows?
I'll tell you what. For me, working in the sport, like because I remember being a kid and watching like Bernard Dunn, all those like Steve Collins on TV. Like, same. I want that day. Do you know what I mean? I want to experience that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, I was there. I seen Bernard Dunn it was the O2, wasn't it? Yeah. I was there at that. Like, I was at the Mobile Arena, whatever the fuck that was called. I think it was the Mobile Arena then. No. But I was there at that, like, 11 or 12 with me dad, you know what I mean? I remember watching that fight bleeding up in the rafters as well. I was miles away. But nonetheless, I remember walking out of that venue and just thinking, Jesus, that was amazing. I'd love to fight here one day.
Yeah.
And I already done that, like, so I'm happy with that. It's good. That.
Right, we go again. Have a look at these and see. I'll run through them, right? Jack, Jono, hard grafters, your biggest fan, he reckons. John would like to know what your next fight is. Do you know?
I don't know. Do you know what? 2 fights what I'd love. They're not my next fights, but what I'd love. I'd love a fight. If Carl Frampton goes and beats your man, Haring.
Yes.
If you get that world title, imagine me and Carl Frampton in the SSC Arena Open Blade
shit.
in Belfast.
Like,
incredible. That'd be the first time. So Carl would be a 3-weight world champion, and that'd be the first time 2 Irish people fight for the world title in Ireland on home soil. You know what I mean? That would be history in the making. So would absolutely love that fight. Carl obviously is another former world champion. So I just think I took care of Quigg a little bit better than he did. But no, Carl's a legend. Carl's a legend.
Right,
oh, yeah.
I'm getting
like
these
Carl.
questions out. Hang on there 1 second. Jez says never in doubt Jono was going to stop Quigg. George has asked, in your opinion, who would be a better fight, Crawford or Devin Hanley?
Better fight for who?
I don't know. He hasn't said.
Because they're different weight divisions.
Right, George, come back when you know
Crawford,
your shit.
Yeah, mate.
Kyle says, Jono, how much whiskey have you drank since lockdown? When we see...
don't know. I drank a bit, but...
Baldy is asking Jono, the main man, what's next on the cards? Well, you kind of answered that just there. Thomas...
Well, I don't know what's next.
We don't know.
So I actually don't know. That's just what I'd love.
Thomas has asked, would you ask Eddie Hearn to get you a title shot at Celtic Park?
Imagine that. Oh, yeah. Someone else said that to me there a while ago. It's probably that's all right. I wouldn't mind that. Might as well have the Celtic crowd be the bollocks.
James asked, where in Dublin is Jono from?
Finglas.
From Finglas.
Originally from Finglas.
And
the hood.
Lloyd has asked, who is your favourite boxer?
Who was my favourite boxer? Yeah. Do you know what? I don't really have a favourite boxer. I'm my own favourite boxer.
Yeah. That's the answer I was expecting you to say.
I know. I love Lomachenko. I love his footwork. I love his angles and all that. Love watching him. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And last one here from Wilco. How tough was Quigg?
Quigg wasn't tough. Quigg wasn't tough at all. He was just like, he was strong on the inside, had a little bit of strength on the inside, but because I knew if I kept giving him an angle and kept him off balance, I knew that was going to be an easy knife for me. I could have made that a hard knife for me. If I had stood and banged him any time, like, could have been tough, you know. But because I knew how to beat him, I just made it easy for myself, to be honest. You know what I mean? Now, if I had went in there and just went for a war with him, that could have been a horrible night. Because when he was on the inside, he still had strength and he could still throw. But it was just like, I just knew I had faster hands and faster speed and better footwork and all. So I was like, why would I even let him have a chance? You know what I mean? Just like keep hitting him and moving, hitting him and give him an angle. You know what I mean? So, it was easy work.
Well, it worked out. It worked out. But listen,
exactly.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. That was a great chat.
My pleasure. Anytime you want me, just hit me up.
Hopefully the next time that we get to do an interview, it will be in person. The war on COVID will be over and everything will be back to normal.
Yes, please God.
And
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Any new books, send them our way and I'll get them up. We'll start doing a Jono Carroll book club every month, right?
Yeah, that's
King Kong recommends.
That sounds good. Yeah, I'm on my Duolingo now, learning Spanish every morning. Always improving.
Love it. What we say, adios.
Adios. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Listen, take care, Jono. Thank you so much.